Hello and welcome to yet another wrestling channel. My name's Rich. Before I get into the video, I just wanted to quickly just say that I've made this because it's about a story that's kind of been on my mind all weekend really, since it really broke, and it even made it to non-wrestling media. Because it sort of hints on a serious subject, I tried to take it seriously, and you'll see what I mean when I get in the video. So the sarcasm's going to come back in the next one. Now I'm sure there'll be some people, if you watch this, who won't be keen on me bringing up something that I'm sure Our Lady Peace or their fans kind of want distance from. You'll see what I mean when I get into the video, but I figured that if I'm thinking about it, that other people might be too, and that's kind of why I've made this video. So I'm going to get into it now. I just quickly wanted to say that before I start. Really want to thank you for finding my channel. Hope you like the video, and I hope you stick around, so thank you. There are many examples of famous songs no longer being played by the bands that made them popular. Paramore notably stopped playing Misery Business, arguably their biggest hit, in 2018, 11 years after its release, because of a line that was considered degrading. In 2022, the band reneged on this and re-added it to the setlist. But what about when an artist brings back a song that has been tarnished for reasons out of their control? On February 19th, 2025, Canadian band Our Lady Peace began their 30th anniversary tour in Calgary, and they played Whatever for the first time since September 2003. The song was used as the entrance theme for Chris Benoit, a name I usually try to avoid using on this channel unless when historically relevant. The replaying of the song has brought about some mixed feelings from fans, so in this video I want to briefly explore the song's history, why some might feel it's too closely linked to WWE, and whether or not the band can reclaim the song as their own. To look at the comments under videos of the song being played live, it seems like lots of fans of both WWE and the band are happy to hear it again, but I also want to take a look at why fans might feel differently. On March 26, 2002, WWE released Forcible Entry, their latest CD of entrance themes. Whatever was included on this disc before it was used on WWE television. The album included many songs that had been heard on TV, such as Steve Austin's theme, Glass Shatters by Disturbed, as well as Rollin' by Limp Bizkit, which was used by The Undertaker. It also included songs that hadn't yet but would soon be used, like Across the Nation, the Raw theme that wouldn't debut until the following month, and Whatever by Our Lady Peace for Benoit, who was at the time out of action following a serious neck injury. When he returned on the May 27, 2002 episode of Raw, he did so with Whatever playing for the first time. Speaking to the Edmonton Journal in February 2025, singer for the band Rain Maida teased that the song was coming back, though it didn't make headlines until it had actually been performed, and videos of it were available online. He said, "We're playing Whatever, which we did for WWE, and it's kind of got a terrible story attached." As Maida says, the song was originally recorded for WWE. It also includes the same very distinctive riff as Benoit's previous music, made by WWE's longtime composer Jim Johnston. Jim has varying credits on 12 of the 18 songs on Forcible Entry, from remix on Marilyn Manson's The Beautiful People to match the version of the song that WWE used on SmackDown, to writing and co-writing credits on other songs, to a co-music credit on Whatever. There are other songs where Jim has no credit at all, but he does on Whatever, implying that it was a WWE song in some part. In a 2021 interview with the RRBG podcast, Johnson explained why music is so important to a wrestler from his perspective. He described entrance music as a score to that character, so every time people hear it, they feel that character. It's not just about thinking about it, they feel that character and what that character's about. When you think about it that way, it's easy to see why the link is so strong with fans, even after all these years. There are other songs on the album that I couldn't find any evidence of a live performance of, like End of Everything by Stereo Mud, which was used for Raven, or The Game by Drowning Pool, which as best as I can find, was only ever played live once at WrestleMania 18. With all of this in consideration, It's easy to see why WWE fans might cringe a bit at hearing the song live once again. But why might the band feel differently about it? Our Lady Peace had been playing Whatever at concerts since May 2001, and according to stats on setlist.fm, they played the song live at least 28 times before it was ever used by WWE, or before Forcible Entry came out. They stopped playing it in 2003, for which I can't find a reason, so it may have just fallen out of the setlist, replaced by newer songs. Going back to the credits on Forcible Entry, Maida is acknowledged as the song's writer, while members of the band, as well as Jim Johnson, are credited for the music. From here, it's already easy to see how the band might feel ownership of it. When they brought it back this weekend, Maida told the audience in attendance, "We recorded it, and it ended up on this kinda big soundtrack," clearly not wanting to draw the link right away. He goes on to say, "Things happen in your life, and they can own you, or you can own them. We decided to take back ownership of this song, because it's our song, and it has to do with mental health, and that's how we're taking control." The song's lyrics never really struck me that way, and the repeated line, "I'm not driven by fear, I'm just driven by anger," doesn't help in separating it from what happened. Following the song, the screen showed information for the Suicide Crisis Helpline, a very noble thing to do, but not likely to distance the song from its troubled past. Whatever isn't specifically about Benoit, but knowing what he did, those lyrics can take a meaning that the writer clearly couldn't have meant them to. It seems that to some fans, Our Lady Peace, quite unfairly, might never shake the association with Benoit. In 2022, when the band's song Run was announced as the official theme for the first Clash of the Castle event, discussion about Benoit came back up, just because that band was associated with WWE again. If anything, I wish more fans talked about their song Not Enough, which was used in an excellent video package about Jeff Hardy, including his famous ladder match with The Undertaker in 2002. That match, Jim Ross's call of "Climb the ladder, kid, make yourself famous," and Not Enough by Our Lady Peace, all stuck with me all these years, much like Jim Johnson was talking about in the quote I referenced earlier. Before I ask your opinion, and I am genuinely interested in the comments, here's mine. Cult of Personality was first used by CM Punk in Ring of Honor in 2005, and since July 2011, it's been his regular entrance theme in WWE, in the UFC, but we're not talking about that right now, in AEW, then back to WWE. The song was first released in 1988, 17 years before Punk started using it. There will be some fans who first heard it on WWE programming, but there will also be some who first heard it from no other media in particular. When I hear Cult of Personality, I don't necessarily think of CM Punk. When I hear Whatever though, I only think of Benoit, and that's the distinction. On the other hand, I know very little about Our Lady Peace, so would I feel differently if I was a fan of theirs? I first learned that Chris Benoit had passed when the regularly scheduled episode of Raw was scrapped, and in its place a tribute show aired. Throughout Tuesday I listened to that song, only knowing that Benoit was gone, not yet knowing the details of what actually happened. It was only when I got home from school and got online that I learned what that man had done, and I've rarely if ever heard that song since. But that's just my experience of the song. As I understand it from the comments I've read, fans of the band may not even know it from wrestling, as it's a relatively deep cut in their back catalogue, never appearing on any Our Lady Peace album. Perhaps the band is hoping that enough time has passed, that newer fans won't have the same connection to it as the early 2000s WWE fans like me do. In playing it now for newer fans, the context will be removed, initially at least, until a bunch of wrestling fans start making noise about it. It'll only take a curious Our Lady Peace fan not very long to do a quick Google search after this weekend to find out exactly why. For this reason, I can't ever quite see it escaping its troubled past. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, so please let me know in the comments. While this is likely one of those stories that will be here this week and likely gone the next, it still caught my interest because of the vastly differing opinions on social media. Thank you for watching yet another wrestling channel. If you enjoyed this video, please comment, like or subscribe.